Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Extreme Tarot, where we do moon readings, pick a cards, and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a pick a card reading, a continuation of my Ariana Grande series, where I just base a reading off the title of one of the songs from the Thank You Next album. Today we're doing NASA. We're looking to the stars, to the universe, to see what message they have. This is probably going to be more broad messages just about like the themes going on in your life right now and some general advice for you guys. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to pick a card. I'm just going to call them piles, but I have pile 1 here with the autumn card, pile 2 here with the glass card, and pile 3 with the drowned king. So go ahead, like I said, pause the video if you need to, otherwise I will see you at your pile. Okay guys, if you chose pile 1, card 1, autumn, this is going to be your reading to see what message spirit has for you today. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the cards out. We have number 10, blue lace agate. We have the vulture. Actually, I kind of like that, like that. Okay. We have the 10th house, reputation, career responsibilities, achievement, competence, fame, notoriety, standing, authority figures, legacy, purpose, pinnacle, the patriarchy, and empire. We also have the 12th house, surrender, subconscious mind, compassion, dreams, karma, forgiveness, baggage, trance states, the unseen, healing, spiritual development, guilt, prayer, and Akashic records. We also have Nourish the Soul, number 29 here. And I honor the divine energy that's money. All right. So I feel like what's going on here is that you either just had or are about to have some sort of like success in your career, money, financially, whatever. I feel like there's some sort of guilt attached to it though. I'm getting 2 things. One could be if you are doing some sort of like healing or spiritual work or something like that with the 12th house. It talked about like Akashic records. Maybe you read Akashic records, you do tarot, you do Reiki healing, you do any of that kind of thing. There could be some sort of like crisis of conscience where you're like feeling like it should be enough just to do that work. Do you need to get paid for it? Like there could be some issues of like, not lack mentality, but almost like, am I a bad person for wanting money? And then another thing could be if you just recently had some career success here, you could feel something like you don't deserve it or something like that because you've been maybe like slacking and you feel like you just got lucky. There's some sort of guilt attached to like some sort of success that either came or is coming. So if you've been trying to get a new job and you're having trouble, it could be that you like don't feel like you're worthy because you're like slacking in other areas and just feeling bad about yourself overall. The other example I used at the beginning is like if you're like in like the spiritual arts, we'll call it, and you feel like it's not spiritual to want to like, you know, be successful and be famous and have money and things like that. Like you could be struggling with that. Like we have this 10th house here with this Nourish the Soul, where it's like you feel that, I don't know, this to me looks like a big panther drinking out of the ocean. And it's like, if you think about it, if you're drinking salt water, it's really not going to nourish you. It's like you feel like maybe partaking and like wanting some sort of a status here with these 2 thrones makes you like a bad person or something like that. I want to see what this blue lace agate is talking about. Let me look in the book quick. Self-expression, highlighting integrity, it enhances the ability to communicate effectively what is in your mind and heart. Be confident when speaking in public as you have much to share. You may have been silenced in the past. Repressing thoughts and feelings causes throat problems. Oh, another thing I'm getting, if you are some sort of like writer, songwriter, like some way that you express yourself or something like that, you could feel almost like the opposite of what I was saying, where there's something here though where your 10th and your 12th house, like the house of like spirituality and things like that, and the house of like your reputation. So even if you do have some sort of like, you could be holding yourself back from like fully expressing yourself, writing about things that you want to write about, for example, because you feel like people can't handle it, it's going to ruin your reputation, people will look at you differently. There's something like that where it's like you feel like a call to do things in your soul, but you're not acting on them for fear of judgment, even if it's like a soul calling. I feel like this soul calling is very strong in you. Like it's very difficult for you to not follow your soul's calling, and so when you don't and you're more worried about your reputation, it kind of like creates this sort of imbalance here. We also have this affirmation, I honor the divine energy that is money. So there is a need to sort of, I feel like, yeah, this is like really like kind of like that struggle of like more, I guess, earthly things. Yeah, that's like Capricorn energy, and that's like watery, but like the spiritual versus the material basically. And it's like trying to like figure out a way to kind of incorporate both in your life in a balanced way. I feel like you could be leaning like one way or the other, where it's like out of balance, where you're spending too much time, like you're maybe like have forsaken like the material world in order to focus on your spiritual journey, but then the bills still need to get paid. So how does that work? Or you could be just really like, okay, I need to pay these bills, and kind of neglecting your more spiritual needs, but there's that sort of imbalance there. I feel like that's like the main issue going on. So let's go ahead and get the tarot and see what else we can find out. What message does Spirit have for my pile ones? Okay. We have the Lovers. What message does Spirit have for my pile ones? We have the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, that's too many. What message? It's too many as well. Okay, we have the Star. And the Magician, very powerful. Okay, we also have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, there's like a strong message here. We have the Ten of Pentacles at the center of this reading. I feel like you need something that Spirit wants you to work on is really just, yeah, like balancing out these two sides of yourself. I think Spirit is wanting you to know that, like, yes, like this is like, something that a lot of people go through with the Lovers. It's something like everyone has on their fool's journey. They hit this stage where they sort of question if it's like right, like you're struggling with a decision. Like maybe if you're like, it's on the fool's journey, it's like when you kind of are trying to make a choice about what direction to go in, and maybe, like I was saying, like you feel something about your reputation, like you're feeling something about how like walking towards your money, it's like the way that this girl is like looking up at this angel, it's almost like, is this okay? Like, is it wrong of me to want this? Like, I feel like there is some sort of like crisis of conscience, or almost feeling like, especially if you haven't had success for a while, if it's like, I feel like you almost feel proud of that in a way, like, well, I still keep doing it even though like I haven't had success. Like there's some sort of like honor attached to that, and I feel like it might be kind of keeping you stuck. You're kind of more so like staying here, like, you know how the Eight of Cups, it's like about moving on from something that's like emotionally unsatisfying. It's like you just feel like guilty for like walking towards this Ten of Pentacles. Like it's very interesting because, yeah, guilt was on here, so there is some sort of guilt attached to it. But Spirit is wanting you to know that like those two realms, the earth and like I guess the water will just represent the spiritual here, but like those two realms work together with the Magician. All four elements work together to create like this fully satisfying life for yourself. And whatever imbalance it is, like we talked about a few different things, that could be affecting like this attitude that you have about success and money. I feel like it has to do mostly with success, whereas like you feel like it's like you almost feel like you'll never reach a point where you're like aligned with material success, and I feel like you're almost kind of holding yourself back in a way, and you have to make maybe like a conscious decision here. I think that's the advice Spirit is giving to you, to make like a conscious decision that like it's okay to want to be successful, and it's okay to like want money, and it's okay to care about achieve like getting success, like achieving certain things, like getting notoriety, having like a good standing in the community for like the hard work I'm putting in like every day. Like I feel like you are putting in the work, but I feel like it's very emotionally motivated for you in a way. So I feel like you're having a tough time, yeah, again, like melding these two worlds together, and Spirit is like wanting to come through to be like, it's okay, like let's bring them together. Like, why should you not be making money from something that you absolutely love? Like, that's what we want for you. Like, we're not going to think that you're a bad person if you have enough money to buy some more clothes. We'll be like, ooh, you're looking good. Like, they don't want you to think that like it's bad to want material things. And I also think that I honor the divine energy that is money. Like, it's always important to remember, because sometimes like people can fall into that habit of looking at people with money. And I mean, obviously there's good and bad people. There's people that have money that do good with it, and there's people who have money that I guess do bad with it and are selfish with it or whatever. But it's like you can choose to do whatever you wish with your money. That's another thing. As with all energy, it's like you could be like super smart and use that to manipulate people, or you could be super smart and use that to just like, I don't know, cure AIDS, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's all like what you do with like the gifts that you're given. If you have a gift here, which it seems like you do with the Star and the Magician, like you're very powerful. You could again have like some sort of like a message to share. Could be a star seed. I'm just noticing all those stars like that. And I think you're almost like meant to be successful in this lifetime. Like you're meant to discover this power, this personal power within you with the Magician, and use all your resources in order to achieve success. Like with the Queen of Pentacles here. Yeah, Spirit is wanting you to look at this from another perspective and see that like they want you to be happy, and it's okay to chase your happiness and the things that are going to be good for you. Like the Four of Wands is a very stable energy, and like if you're more stable in your financial life, by like getting, you know, you have more resources to spread this message, which I think is what Spirit is like wanting you to do. I kind of like devolved into this whole like spreading a message thing, because I feel like this is more about like compromising your like artistic integrity in order to like chase fame or something like that. Like those other examples I used could still resonate, but I feel like here it's more of like being scared of success, as it's gonna like dilute your message or taint your message or something like that. Something like that, yeah. So all right, let's see what else we can get. I feel like whoever like needed to hear this part of the reading, like that was coming through super strong. Like I felt like I was really channeling your guides for that, so they really wanted you to know that. But I feel like you have a lot of people like looking over you, a lot of, because like even I'm noticing all these stars here and all these stars, I feel like there's, like I was saying, you could be a star seed, and that's what makes me think that this is more so like the first, or like that spread your message thing, because I feel like you have some sort of like a mission that's like, and that's like very like significant, and that's what I'm saying, like your spirit guides want you to be successful, so it's easier for you. They don't want everything to be a struggle for you. So let's see what we got here. We have Moon, changes in your life. This is just what's coming up. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Career. Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Dog, close up, pleasure with a close friend. And Mountain, major challenge to overcome. And in your career, and I feel like in this case, the major challenge to overcome is almost like your own, not necessarily limiting beliefs, but your own judgments about money and what it can do to you, and just sort of like be able to like open up to like this harvest season that's like coming into your life right now. I'm just gonna get a few advice cards for you. What do you want to tell pile 1 right now? Time to spice things up. And yeah, especially if that message we were getting about if you're worried about your reputation and like not really speaking on things that are like resonating with your soul, like Spirit is saying like, no, like nourish the soul in that way. If it's like, if you start sacrificing like your message, even if it's you're a writer, you're a songwriter, like it's just you living your life out in the world and the way you are and interacting with other people, whatever. If you're afraid to sort of like speak up about things, even with the time to spice things up, I get that like you could end up getting in arguments or something sometimes by like maybe like sticking up for people, sticking up for what's right, things like that. I think Spirit is saying like you're protected and things like that. Don't be afraid to like, if you feel like that kind of like fire in your soul, like you need to speak on something, like don't be afraid to do it. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take the next step. Okay. Just keep going. Even with that boot, I'm getting like a step. Just take a step. Like, I feel like if you just kind of keep following your intuition, like, oh, I feel like doing this today. Like, even if you don't know where it's leading, I feel like new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. It's like you're going to be walking along this wall. Like, oh, I feel like to just, you know, kind of keep going. Say you're like walking like this way, you know, and then you're just going to see this path. Like, oh my God, like it's going to like surprise you. Yeah, like with the 8 of Cups. So say you've been sitting here stagnant a little bit for a while, and your intuition is telling you to start walking that way, then you're going to see like this path, if that makes sense. So follow your intuition, even if it seems a little silly. If you feel the call, just like do it. Don't be afraid to make a fuss if someone is violating you in any way. Again, if you need to speak on something that is like right in front of you that you feel is right or wrong, like, you know, or you feel is wrong, or you need, that message is coming through. Your shitty circumstances aren't an excuse to be a shitty person. Choose growth. When you know, you know, and when you don't know, you don't know. So again, there's kind of that message of like, you don't have to have it all figured out. Just kind of like live your life, stay in the moment, and just know that like Spirit's like going to be like lighting the way. And then it says, even if your deepest fears come true, there will always be a way forward. So especially if like that's like you may be scared to like spread some sort of a message, or like I was saying, stand up for somebody. Maybe you're afraid, I don't know, people getting mad at you or whatever the case is here. I feel like Spirit's saying like sometimes like you need to be that person to speak up on something if you feel like it's right or wrong. Even if people get mad at you, like you don't know how things are going to happen, like a couple days, a week, 2 weeks from now. Like planting a seed could be very crucial for the person if you need to speak on something that you know is right, even if they don't like appreciate it in the moment. Maybe it'll like leave a mark on them later on that you may not even like see or know about. Okay, so all right guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hey lovey, so if you guys chose pile 2, speculum glass number 30, this is going to be your reading to see what message Spirit, the universe, has for you. So let's get the rest of your cards out and see what we have here. We have number 46, the Herkimer diamond, the Nightingale. Oh, I wanted to do that. We have Sagittarius, the Voyager, enthusiastic, philosophical, independent, generous, ethical, seeking, happy-go-lucky, adventurous, honest, bareback, unbridled, experiential, lucky, boundless, traveling, risk-taking, tactless, and self-righteous. And then we also have Saturn, wisdom, discipline, structure, time, responsibility, tests, ambition, difficulty, restraint, grounding, practicality, self-control, tradition, realism, container, bones, maturity, gravity, and scaffolding. And then we have Embrace the Dark, number 9. And I must jump first. I know the universe will catch me. Okay, so this is pretty clear message for me here with the speculum glass. That's all about your perspective. I feel that you've been living a certain way for a while, maybe like almost like colorless with this landscape here. And it's like you recently had a perspective shift somehow. I feel you saw the world in a different way. Like you remembered something about yourself in a different way, like, or even something about like a relationship. Like it's like you saw something that like brought like the color back to your world somehow. Just I was saying relationship because this looks like a ring to me. So, and it's like you've had this perspective shift where you had this sort of like epiphany, or like you made a decision or something like that. Like this is like a number 30. It's like 3 10s here. That makes me think that like, say like you were wrestling with something mentally, emotionally, like spiritually or something. It's like XXX, like you checked all the boxes, like you found like the answer you were looking for. Like this even could have been in a dream. This is reminding me of looking through a portal. Like you had some sort of a dream that helps you to like remember like who you are, or like what you want, or like gave you some sort of an answer. Like you had some sort of like epiphany here. And it's like you're having, I must jump first, I know the universe will catch me. And this embrace the dark is making me think of like the unknown. It's like I feel like you have a tough time like jumping into the unknown. Now you're armed with this information, like, and like the next X is needed, like the X of like taking action on what you've just found out. I feel like with Sagittarius, the Voyager, it's like this very free, expansive energy, like mirroring like across from whatever, like this strict discipline. There was saying self-control, and there was something on this Sagittarius energy that was talking about like experiential, like when you let like experience be your guide. That's a very like free spirit Sagittarian sort of an energy where you know, like not most people, but there's a lot of people that literally are like by the book in life. Like I have to like, you know, graduate high school, go to college, graduate, get my degree, like get a job, you know, put a down payment on a house, save for retirement. Like, not that there's anything wrong with any of those things, but I feel like there's almost like, I feel like this is like the life you've been in for like a long time, and it's like you recently like saw something that is making you want to like try a different approach. And this kind of like the vibe of pile 1 2. It was like that same sort of like battle of like those two sides, but I feel like it's coming through in a very different way for you here. But it's like that must be just like a collective energy right now, but where it's like you're realizing like you kept like this limit on yourself, but like you really could just like kind of walk through this portal or something like that. It's very interesting. Should we read the Herkimer Diamond? Nightingale too. This could be about you having to move forward and speak on something. Like you've seen something, and the action that you need to take is something about speaking, but you're having a tough time. Like you're restricting your own voice somehow. You're afraid to risk the fall. Like you don't want to jump in case the universe doesn't catch you. You don't maybe trust this sort of like abstract epiphany that you had, even though it felt, I think, very sure to you and very clear at the time. You're letting like your natural like mind, your natural wisdom, I guess, sort of create doubts for you. And it's like, whereas maybe when you had this epiphany, it was filling up the whole card. I feel as though it's like the Saturn energy is sort of like closing around it again. And I think Spirit is wanting you to know that this epiphany was like a stroke of luck, but it's sort of like what you decide to do next that will like determine if your life is going to expand in that way or not. Not that it never can again, but it's almost like I have this card in one of my decks, one of my oracle decks, where it's like, it's called Falling. Oh my god, Falling and the universe will catch you. Yeah. So I think it's called Falling, and it's like something about like if you see that there's like a ripe apple on like an apple tree or something like that, and you crawl up to get it, like are you gonna crawl up to get it, or are you gonna wait until the apple like falls to the ground, like disintegrates into the earth and like becomes like a seed, and then like has to, like the whole tree has to grow again? It's like not that you'll never have it, but like there are certain opportunities. I think this could be an opportunity for love, but it could be just to like travel. It could be to sort of like choose a different career path. It could be something like that where it's more like the call of your soul here, but it is like taking a chance, leaping into the unknown. And again, this is like a number 9. And remember how I was saying like 10, 10, 10. I feel like, and this is a 10 as well, by the way, number 46. So it's like, this could be like almost not the trifecta, but the for 4, like a trifecta with 4. This could be the quadrafecta. I just made that up. There probably is a word like that. I just don't know what it is. But that could kind of like change the whole course of your life in a good way. Something that you're excited about and that you want to try. It's like something that would allow your soul a sense of freedom, risk taking, but it is a risk. Definitely it is a risk for you to like go after whatever, act on this sort of vision. I almost want to call it a vision. Like I feel like you could have had a dream. I know that's crazy to like sort of like maybe like chase your life or change your life because of a dream, but I feel like whatever it was like really like impacted your vision, really impacted you on a very emotional level, and sort of like there was clarity, like for one moment there was just like perfect clarity or something like that, but now it's like you're afraid to act on it. So let's get your tarot and see what else Spirit wants to say about this. But I do feel like it involves sharing your voice in some way, whether like speaking your feelings or putting yourself out there in some sort of a way. And you're sort of like seeing it as like a tug of war or like a power struggle between these two energies. But I think Spirit is saying like, no, you can work with this energy, like bring in this mature energy, this grounded, practical energy, and figure out a way to like come up with a plan to sort of make your vision become a reality, like blend those two together instead of like trying to keep them separate. I'm getting, oh, that's too many. What does pile 2 need to hear right now from the universe? What is their, I guess, advice? Again, Page of Swords, having that sort of an insight. The 10 of Cups is here, but we're still looking back. The King of Cups on the bottom. I feel like the Page of Swords could be an energy that's very like afraid of like looking stupid. Like they're kind of like observing before they act. We have the Chariot and the Queen of Cups here, and that's too many. I just want one more. What is the message for pile 2 here? Ugh. All right, I feel like both of those cards came out already. Is the fact that they both came out again. I guess Spirit wants them here. So I feel like it's like that. I don't know. All right, guys, we have the Queen of Pentacles again on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, I feel like at the heart of this reading is the Chariot and the Queen of Cups. Again, that's a Cancer energy, very watery, very nurturing sort of an energy. I think Spirit is offering you a chance to like soften your energy a little bit and allow some love into your life here. I think the advice here is to sort of recognize the value of like both of these energies. Like it's okay to like be disciplined, and it's okay to be free. Like, you know, it's like it's about having that blended balance of both. I feel like in this case, like I was saying, I do think it is like love related, just with the 10 of Cups being here. It's like, even if this isn't about a specific person, it's like you saw something about like the way that you're living that is sort of blocking love off from you or something like that. And even like this card, because it is the glass, and it talks about how like if you're looking at something through the glass, there is still that barrier. Even though you can see it, maybe you can feel even like the waves, like the energy waves through the glass, but it's not like tangibly, there's still that barrier. The Page of Swords can talk about that as well. It's like you see it, but if you don't act on it, you're not going to be able to have it. But we have the Page going to the Knight, like that does imply some sort of an action. Maybe this is a person with the Queen of Cups here, like someone that's offering you some sort of like nurturing energy that's maybe waiting on your call. It looks like I always get that with the Queen of Cups, like she's looking at the phone waiting. And I think Spirit is saying like, we've given you this opportunity, don't turn your back on it. Like not even don't turn your back on it, but like you might regret it if you turn your back on it or something like that. I think that maybe you have sort of like matured recently with the page going to the Knight, and you're sort of like struggling what to do with this newfound maturity. Maybe you feel like the energy, you're just like a little too restless. The Sagittarius energy can be a restless energy as well. So maybe it's like you don't want to squander this opportunity, but like overthinking it and not acting on it is gonna sort of like, maybe not to like put pressure on you, but like just like I feel like you're overthinking it. It's like you gotta like you gotta jump somehow, like, you know what I mean? Like maybe take a couple days to like breathe and like think about it, but like come up with a plan. Like I was saying, like use, like look things up online with Saturn. Okay, like say it is like a love thing, like start researching, like how do you ask somebody out, how do you what's a good way to like surprise someone romantically if this is somebody that you know, like what's a way to start meeting people if you just want to be more open to love in general, like, you know what I'm saying? Like use that, find research, like, or something, like, you know, like look up, talk to people, like look to your father, like, you know, with Saturn, that's like a father energy, like, or somebody older that like has more experience or something like that. It's like, or your mother, like we have like the Queen of Cups here, so it's like that mother energy as well, that family energy. So don't be afraid to sort of like allow this sort of like more loving energy into your life. I feel like it is something that you really want, and that was what the epiphany was, that like you realize like you actually do have these sort of feelings, and it is something beautiful that you could have in your life. And I think Spirit is saying like, because yeah, we have the Chariot here, it's like it comes down to your will. If you want it, like you can make it happen. Like you have to make a choice though and take it, it's dependent on your action, kind of a thing. It's not dependent on the universe. Like the universe did its job by sort of like opening your eyes to like the potential, but it's like now the next step is for you to use your will and make a choice. Well, not really make a choice, I feel like almost like because the Lovers is number 6 and then the Chariot is after that, so it's like I feel like the choice has already been made in a way, like you realize like that is what I want or something like that, or that is what I don't want anymore, like this gray like living like in this cloudy sort of an atmosphere. Like I want more color in my life, whatever that means, however that epiphany came through for you. And it's like the next step now, like that's where we're out in the Fool's journey, like with the Chariot, is like exerting your will to like make that happen, like taking your wants and your desires and like combining them with that more masculine energy, like that will, and like putting them together to like in order to like move forward towards like a goal that you want to have for yourself. So there's definitely going from the Page to the Knight of Swords, like that Spirit wants you to know this is an opportunity for you, but it is up to you, like to sort of like embrace the dark, embrace the unknown, like and take it like the next step forward. So let's get some of these tea leaves and just see. Oh my god, sorry. We have egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. Yeah, like there's the egg, but the egg's not gonna hatch unless, I don't know, you crack it open, like, you know what I mean? Younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman. So moon changes in your life coming through on like top of this like moon energy with Cancer here. Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. Like you have to make the effort, like you have to exert your will. It's not going to happen without that, and it could be some sort of like emotional offering or something. Sorry. Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. And tree, affairs with your family. Again, there's something about family. I'm just gonna get one more because I got one more for the other one. Weeping willow, family sorrow. Something with your family. Oh, maybe there was like some sort of family death or something like that. I hate to say it, it would have already happened, but we have the tree and then we have the weeping willow, where it's like maybe like a loss sort of like made you get more in touch with your grief and your emotions. And like I always feel like when you grieve something, or maybe you lost like a partner, I know this says family, but I feel like that's like the way I'm like seeing this message, where like if you lost something and it really stirred your emotions and it made you like appreciate it, or if you did lose like a family member and it just made you realize life is a precious thing, life is short, you need to like, you know, kind of be with those people that give you that feeling, that 10 of Cups feeling. If you found somebody maybe like, or partner that you feel like gives you that sense of love and like family and that sort of like emotional stability, that nurturing energy, it is an opportunity to sort of change your life, to allow that like energy in, but not if you don't take it. It's just gonna sort of pass you by, you know? So it's up to you. Like literally it's up to you. Like, do you want to exert your will and make something happen for yourself, or do you want to just let the chance pass you by and like go back to your gray living? Either way, you'll be fine, you'll be okay, but that's what you need to sort of like plan your next step around. Charm and the promise of delight will draw people like moths to a flame. I feel like you're almost thinking with this whole sorrow, you're thinking it's like heavier than it needs to be. Like there's not going to be that much effort. Like, I mean, draw on your charms, do something nice for somebody. They'll probably just say thank you and be happy to see you, you know, something like that. Be a savage self-lover, and anyone that don't like it can F off. Like, if you had really like an epiphany that somebody is right for you, it's like maybe you're fearing that they're not going to like your actual self. But if this is like really right, again, this is maybe the unknown that you're afraid of. Like maybe there will be some things that you need to compromise and work out, but Spirit's not going to like if it's really somebody that like you fit together with and you have this emotional resonance with, like things are going to flow. Like they're going to like your actual self. Like I don't think you have to worry about that. Who am I? Who have I always been? Look to your childhood. There's a lot about family and childhood, or so maybe it's like you're getting back to who you were like as like a child. Maybe like this sort of hardened exterior has built up over time, but you're trying to like get more in balance. Don't be so smart you can't wonder. Yeah, you're like expanding your mind a little bit. You're like expanding, like you're not like thinking that you're the smartest person in the room. You're like open. With Sagittarius, that is that open, more expanded mind. And what else? Advice for my pile twos. A lot of the conflict between people stems from misunderstandings or incorrect assumptions. So open your mind and heart. Okay, open your mind, open your heart. If there was like a conflict between somebody, like just a simple like, hey, can we talk about what happened? I want to like clear the air between us. Like if they say no, then that wasn't the person. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe try to clear the air. Even with that, it's like with the moon, there's like clouds, but it looks like they're clearing, like there's an opportunity for you to clear up some sort of like misunderstanding. It says if you want love, be love, and then get organized. Again, like I feel like, again, that's about those two sides like working together in tandem, where it's like if you want love, be love, but get organized. Get your outfit planned, what you're gonna wear when you like take this person out, like, you know what I mean? Like plan the restaurant you want to take them to. Like there's something like that where it's like use this Saturn energy with this more like expansive love energy. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Otherwise I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. Okay. Hey, lovies, welcome or welcome. No. Oop. Hi guys, if you chose pile 3 and the Drowned King, this is going to be a reading to see what spirit, the universe, like what message they want to come through to you. So let's see what you got with your cards here. Oh, sorry, I just shook the table. So we have the number 49, the graphic smoky quartz, which is interesting because this is a number 49 as well. Okay, we also have the raccoon energy. Oh, I keep doing this. Okay. We also have Taurus, the bombshell. Earthy, practical, steadfast, productive, fertile, tactile, ample, worthy, right, pleasure-seeking, sensuous, blooming, solid, possessive, tenacious, loyal, patient, and deliberate. And we also have Cancer, feeling sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic, protective, intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal, caring, moody, receptive, lunar, sentimental, introverted, defensive, and family-oriented. Okay. We also have Trust in Magic, number 47. And all of my emotions are part of my human experiences. All right. So I feel like you could have like acted a little bit like an asshole recently or something like that with the Drowned King. That's all about like an ego death. Like the king is representative of the ego, and like the Drowned King is somebody that's sort of like I almost want to like read it from the book because it was, let's see. All right. Ego collapse, losing face, and humility. In alchemy, the archetype of the king is often used as a symbol for the ego, the aspect of the self that is attached to its title, name, and identity. It is said that the Drowned King is a required phase in the process of transformation. Only through dissolving who they thought they were is the king able to become who they are destined to be. Where was I? A kind and benevolent leader. How does the drowning occur? Not voluntarily, that's for certain. Through circumstances beyond their control, the king is brought to their bottom, to their knees. When this card appears, expect a huge blow to the ego, impactful enough that it causes one to turn their life around, prioritizing grace over greed, benevolence over brutality, sovereignty over selfishness. The drowned king eventually resurfaces as a fully changed, benevolent being. All right, and so it's like the power of benevolence. Maybe you've recently learned some sort of like a lesson like that, where you had a sort of an ego death, where you were maybe like up on your high horse a little bit, and then you sort of got like maybe something with your family. This says family oriented. Cancer is all about like the mother line, something like that. Maybe like with Taurus, this Taurus energy and the bombshell, maybe like it's almost like you thought you were hot shit or something like that. And you sort of like were acting a little bit like kind of like too cool for school with this girl here. Like look at her like flipping her hair back like, I don't have time for this or something like that. So maybe you had some sort of like moody sort of experience. There's a lot about like all, and there's this message here too. Whoa, sorry, let me just like fix this. All of my emotions are part of my human experience. So I think spirit, first of all, is wanting you to know like this is like normal, like to everyone's an asshole sometimes. Like we all go through this. We've all been in this drowned king energy. These are universal archetypes, universal like I guess alchemical processes that like all humans go through. And it's like almost like these dark moments. Trust in the magic, this says. Yeah, number 47. So it's like I feel like these are all, these processes like serve a purpose. Like it's not just to, you know, we're supposed to go through life being little perfect angels and never being mean to anybody and never being like an asshole, an a-hole. I shouldn't be cursing, but it's like those times like when you are like the a-hole, when you are in the dark, is when you can sort of like see the light and see how your behavior isn't maybe being the best and sort of like work on changing. I feel like you could be somebody that is a little bit, I don't want to say superficial, but like very concerned with like the way you look to other people. Just, this is the bombshell. Cancer, I mean, just the way she's like all like, she looks a little bit like full of herself a little bit or something like that. Where maybe like you were just like seeking your own pleasure, being a little selfish or something like that, and you sort of had this moment of reckoning where you were sort of like knocked off your high horse a little bit and were made to feel some sort of shameful emotions or something like that. You really had to sit and think about, sit in the dark for a minute and think about maybe like what you did. But I think Spirit is wanting you to know that like this was all sort of like part of the plan and part of like your soul's plan on like a grander scale, like where maybe it kind of culminated. Maybe you just kind of have like a sort of like this mentality like in general or something like that, and it sort of culminated into like some big moment where you were sort of put in your place or something like that. And I think Spirit is saying like it only had to get that bad, not to punish you, but to sort of make you see how your energy like affects other people. I really feel like other people are involved here. Just the fact that there's 2 crows on that card, this is talking about your family here. Like the Drowned King, it talks about like being a ruler over other people. Like, so there's like other people, like the energy of other people involved here. Like I feel like you could have been very stubborn about something with this Taurus energy here, and then sort of like this whole experience, whatever it was, sort of like paved the way for like a new emotional like expression to come. I feel like you could be going through, this is, you had the number 49 twice. That's making me think of like 49 turning into 50, like leaving your 40s, going into your 50s. That could be like a thing. You could be like turning 25, for example, having some sort of like milestone birthday or something like that, like where you're kind of transitioning from one phase of life to another. There's a lot of change, probably a lot of stress involved. And I think like that's maybe why this moment sort of came up now, to sort of not prepare you for the next stage of your life, but it's like it's like you're in your outer circumstances. I feel like there is some sort of like rite of passage or something, like you're transitioning to the next phase of your life, and then also like now you're having this like inner change to match it, I would say. So what advice does Spirit have for you guys? We have the Knight of Wands. I feel like you maybe were being a little hot-headed or impulsive or something like that. The Hierophant, and then maybe, yeah, there was some sort of like wisdom. Oh, someone needed to tame that lion or something like that. Like you had some sort of like higher perspective. Yeah, with the High Priestess. And then the Knight of Pentacles or something like that. It was good. It's almost like you went within and wait, hold on, let me just get like the last one, the Temperance. Yeah, oh, this is beautiful, honestly. We have 3 major arcanas. I feel like this was like a major moment for you, where it's like you almost had some sort of like transition in from like the Knight of Wands into the Knight of Pentacles. The Hierophant talks about tradition, so there could have been, again, like some sort of like traditional thing that was like expected of you, like, you know what I'm saying, like something like that you were maybe like turning away from or something. And then it was like upon reflection, like you went within and sort of approached the situation from like the Knight of Pentacles standpoint and tried to like heal the situation, balance, moderate the situation, maybe even just like moderate yourself on the inside. I feel like it was a moment where like you really grew up, even if it's not like an actual milestone or a birthday or something like that. I kind of was getting that because we had the number 49 here twice. I feel like you did have some sort of like moment of reckoning within yourself where, and I think what Spirit is wanting you to know is that what Spirit wants you to take from this experience is that everybody has these moments. Everybody has these moments, like I was saying, where they're the a-hole and they're in the wrong, or their ego kind of gets the best of them, or their pride. And it's like, but it's like not the fact that you have those, you know, kind of darker moments to begin with. That is the point. It's like what you do once you realize it, once you sit in that High Priestess energy. And maybe someone even kind of like said something to you here with the Hierophant. It's like almost like a teacher or something like that. So like maybe or a parent, like we were talking about. So it's like, again, it's like, what do you do once you, like, this information is like uncovered, when you're being shown your behavior and you sort of realize maybe like that the way you're acting isn't the best or something like that. It's like, and I feel like what you did was you took that information and you put it into practice and sort of worked to heal the situation. Even this, I've never seen this on a Temperance card, or I've never noticed it, but there's like a crown here. It's making me think of that ego death, where it's like you sort of like left your ego behind and went here to sort of like these nourishing waters to sort of like temper and like I was saying, heal and moderate the situation. and I think almost like accept yourself. And it's like, I think spirit, yeah, this is like a very pivotal moment for your like growth and development, where you're growing emotionally and becoming like a more kind, wise person with the high priestess here. It's like you're able to sort of like check your behavior, and this is sort of like laying the groundwork for you moving forward. Like I feel like this is like another part of your journey here. I feel like where you're specifically at maybe is here at this high priestess energy or something like that. And when you think about it, like after the high priestess is the empress and then the emperor, and it's like the emperor can be a sort of like controlling authority figure kind of a thing. And it's like if you're kind of going into this emperor energy with this before you have this like drowned king experience, like, and your ego is still running the show, it's like it's gonna be like not too late, but it's almost like you're going to be going in, like when you do reach like that phase of your journey where you're in the emperor energy and you really do have like a more like standing or power in the community, like you're going to be a more benevolent energy, and you're going to handle that mantle of responsibility like with more responsibility and control and compassion and benevolence. Like that's like the main energy of this reading, that it's sometimes like it pays to be benevolent and to be kind to people, just because of the way it feeds your soul and makes you grow as a person. And like I was saying, I feel like you could have been somebody that was more concerned with like outer kinds of things. And if we're at the high priestess stage on your journey, which is where I feel like you kind of are at here, that means you just left like the magician, which is all about like your own personal power and sense of self. And it's like, I feel like the way you use that power is what you were thinking about in this sort of time period in your life. And I feel like you're putting it into practice in a very beautiful way. Like the Knight of Pentacles is a very pure-hearted energy. I feel that you really like took this opportunity, and I think Spirit is really just wanting to like almost like give you a pat on the back, give you some applause here or something like that. And they want to say like, don't beat yourself up because like you did like, you were put to the test and like you passed your test or something like that. Like we were watching and you handled this situation, like I almost feel like I'm gonna cry, like so beautifully, and like you walked towards like the healing and you like did the right thing kind of a thing. So like even if you feel like, you know, you didn't at first, oh my god, I just saw the magician is like sticking out. Yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, I feel like that's the energy you were in, where maybe you were like exerting your power over people, like acting a little bit immaturely with the Page of Cups, and then, or I'm sorry, the Page of Wands, and then the Knight of Wands. Like you kind of like maybe like doubled down on that energy and got a little like angry. There might have been angry words, but then it was like, again, you took time to think it through and got into this Knight of Pentacles energy, which I think is really beautiful. Okay, so, and so does Spirit. So what else? What else does Spirit want to say? We have Butterfly, a change for the better. Yeah, Spirit is really like wanting you to see or understand that career. I don't know why I just picked that out. All right, we'll just leave it. But maybe that was like the tradition, or maybe you got a new job or something like that. That was like the milestone or something, and you were kind of acting a little bit like, I don't know, something. But Spirit is wanting you to know that like they're really noticing like this change in you, and they're like really happy about it. Skull, hidden secrets can harm you. Oh, coming out right over the High Priestess. And it's better, it's almost like, I feel like, not necessarily hidden secrets, but like maybe there was a lot of like emotion underneath the surface, and it just finally like came out, maybe in a more ugly way, but it's better out than in, and like we got everything out on the table. Wind chimes, peace and harmony. Yeah, it's like something was buried underneath that needed to come out, but then everything ended up working out for the best or something like that. Oh, we got 2. Cane, pay attention to your health. Oh, we got 3. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. Cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. So let me get one more because I don't know what that is. Pay attention to your health. Oh, we got 2 more again. Flute. Disappointment in a friend or a lover. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. So it's almost like maybe like people were disappointed in you, or you were disappointed in yourself or something like that. You were dealing with other people here. And with the cracked cup, it's like almost like disappointment, dissatisfaction. Something happened where maybe like there was some sort of like dissatisfying scenario with other people, but it's like something happened where I think it worked out in the end and you were able to find the joy in the situation. So let's get your advice here. I feel like Spirit's just kind of like reiterating the message. And with the cane spirit, it says pay attention to your health, but I also think that's a message of like, you know, you use a cane to like walk, and it's like you could have been very like dismissive of somebody, or like I was saying, like you acted like an a-hole in some way. And I think Spirit is saying you might need these people to help you one day, so just be careful about who you sort of like, something like that. Look, it's okay to slip up, acknowledge, apologize, and get back on track. I feel like that's exactly what you did. You were able to like turn the situation around. I love that. I like these messages today. Remember, you can always be kind, coming out right over that. And I think that is something that you learned recently, and like how good it feels when you're kind. And it's like you're like soaking, it's not like, oh, you just did it to do it and you're like ha ha ha. Like I feel like you're really like understanding the benefits. You're like feeling it in your soul and like really like soaking it up, and just it's really pretty. It's really nice. Forget about trying to trust others again. Learn to trust yourself, and you'll never have to worry. Trust the strange and mysterious at this time. I feel like this says trust in the magic. I feel like Spirit's like, just, you're on the right path, even when you're making mistakes, even when it seems like you did the wrong thing and you're crying and you're upset. Like you're going where you need to go. Like life isn't, oh my God, when your mascara is 23, there's no time for crying. I was just saying about crying. But wait, hold on one second. Let's see. What advice? Put on a little lipstick, you'll be fine. Like it's like, you know, like you have like a conflict or whatever happens, and then like, you know, you get over it. You put on a little lipstick and you go about your day, you know. It's a wise thing to be polite. Consequently, it is a stupid thing to be rude. And that's coming out right over that cane. So I feel like it is like, you might need help from, you might need these people someday, or you might just regret, you might love, maybe something could happen to their health. Like, you know, I think Spirit's just saying like, we aren't promised tomorrow. Like appreciate the people you have in your life. Like you can always be kind. If you're not, just apologize and try to like, you know, get back on track with your life here. But all right, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day or night wherever you are. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay. Bye.